why homework causes so many arguments. This is a big one, so stick with me through this one. At the end of the video, I invite you to click the link in my description, head to my Patreon channel, join for free, check out the free webinar, and see what I've made for you as parents to make your life stress-free, and also make sure that your child is building confidence and mastering the fundamentals in their maths at their level. You don't want them to keep falling behind, so this is a way where you can help out at home, and it's a plug-and-play system. So go and check it out at the end. Let's dive into this. So homework isn't really about maths anymore. It's all about emotion, or it becomes about the emotion that's involved in it. And I hear this time and time again. You hear about it from friends and family, and it's everywhere, where homework is an issue, where it has become not even necessarily about the math. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here, about math, but it's actually now become such an emotional thing where it causes arguments, it causes fights, it's upsetting. If you feel like you get nowhere, it's just to tick a box to get it done so they can go back to school and get it ticked off by their teacher. It just doesn't feel like it has a real genuine purpose and meaning to your child's confidence and their maths anymore. And so let's have a look at why this is. Most homework fights aren't caused by laziness. So this is the first thing to address. So sometimes they come home from school, they've had a long day at school, and they need to do a homework task, for example, and they don't want to do it. Now, this is often just associated with the fact that they're lazy, possibly, or they don't want to do it and all this sort of thing. And we need to understand that, they've had a day of school, but it's actually not necessarily about that. It's actually about the overwhelm that homework gives them. And that is just a societal thing a little bit, but it's also the way in which we're delivering homework, or we are helping them with homework, and that's the part that I'm going to touch on here. This is what I do here on this channel, is I look at those sides of things. So let's have a look at this example. So you're trying to help, right? So let's say they're doing a homework task. You're trying to help. Your child gets frustrated. You repeat instructions. I mean, this might all sound really familiar, that this is just what happens. And then all of that just results in a big old shutdown. A big shutdown, which means an argument. It means a tantrum. It means they don't want to do it, I can't do it, it's too hard, and all this sort of thing. I mean, you see the funny videos on TikTok and Instagram and things like that, where they talk about almost like the funny side of how homework is such a battle. And it is, and that's why I'm here to address the other side of it, where I'm looking at how can you actually make it purposeful. And so and it turns into a shutdown. And so when the brain is overwhelmed, and this is what they're feeling most of the time when it comes to homework, or it can be, their brain shifts from thinking to protecting itself. So that's a really common thing. So when we are overwhelmed, it could be us as adults, when we're overwhelmed, it flips into, we start protecting ourselves rather than actually thinking more logically, I guess. And so a stressed brain doesn't learn. And they've had a day at school, whole day at school, they come home and they've got to do this homework task they've been given. But if it's not in the right environment, if that environment for them is not set up in the right way for them to do that homework task, then they're going to be overwhelmed, they're going to be stressed, it's going to turn into a battle, and this is where you just go round and round in circles. And so what you want to do instead is these 4 little points here. So what you want to do, shorter sessions. I bang on about this all the time on this channel. I talk about do small windows of time, 5-10 minutes is really important. Smaller wins, so just focus on the small things, and it could be the small amount of effort they've put into this one question. Just focus on those small things. Less pressure, so don't put pressure on the homework or getting it done necessarily. It's just little bits here and there, and you could literally break it up into a 5-minute window when they get home from school, and then after dinner they do another 5-minute window, and then before bed they do another 5-minute window. Like, it could just be like that. You're better to do that rather than just a 20-minute homework session where there's so much pressure on this moment and all this overwhelm and all this thing. They've got to get it done, otherwise their teacher's going to growl at them or whatever it might be. And so that's what you want to kind of start to change. And then this is going to create like more of an independence within them. Yeah, so that's what you want to create, more of it, so they can come home, they know they've got homework, and you would love them to be in that position where they just go and do their homework. But if you can help them and sort of train them into the way in which you do it in this sort of thing, then they might do that. Come home, do 5 minutes, a couple of questions, might need to ask you a couple of things to help with, and they go have dinner and then try another couple. And that's kind of how you want to get the ball rolling a little bit more with that. It's going to change the whole narrative around homework. So have a look at trying this. All right, try it at home. But yeah, this goes hand in hand perfectly with the resources that I provide for you as parents every single week. I literally lay it out so that you do it in shorter sessions. It's all about no pressure in the way in which I'm getting you to do it and getting you to support at home. This isn't about you teaching them, this is about you supporting them, making sure they don't fall behind and keeping them up with those key fundamentals in maths. So go and check it out. Check out the free webinar. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe to the channel, like, put a comment down below, and I will see you next time.